Hi everyone, it's me, your young adult librarian, and welcome to week 3 of the manga/comic book workshop. We have chose what genre we want to write in, and now last week we had chosen what setting it's going to be in. So this week, let's talk about characters. So this week we're going to be working on our character descriptions. This is going to be very important for the next few weeks. So this has to be really thought about, and take your time on creating your characters. So what I will want y'all to do is to create a maximum of 3 characters, but to get full credit, I want y'all to at least make 2 characters. One of those characters, of course, has to be the protagonist. It has to, which is the main character. And that is going to be the character that is the story is going to be evolving around. So you really have to think about that character. And then the other character, if you're doing 2, has to be either can be a supporting character, which is a side character, or it can be an antagonist, which is the villain or rival of the protagonist. So really think about what characters you're going to be creating. So with that being said, let's get that first part of our code, which is 72. This is the time to think about your story. And this is where the protagonists come from. Start with your protagonist. Who is the main character? And what is this story going to be about? Who's going to be involved in this character's life? Who will they encounter? So for me, of course, I'm going to go with 3 character descriptions. I'm going to do the maximum. And so for me, I already have my 3 characters, which is my protagonist is, of course, is going to be Tracy-chan, a character that is essentially me. And then I'm going to have a second main character, which is essentially me again, but it's going to be my alter ego, which is Joe Neko. And then I have a bunch of supporting characters, but for the project's sake, I'm only going to choose one of them, which is going to be my oldest daughter. And her name in the comic book is called Cookie Neko. And just as a bonus information, I have 2 other children that's going to be in my comic book because it centralized me and my family, especially around my 2 oldest children. So it's going to be also my daughter, my second daughter, which is her name in the comic book is Bubble-chan, and my son's name in my comic book is going to be Rin-chan. So everybody, I believe I must have said her name is Cookie Neko, but I'm sorry, that's her little alter ego, but that I shared some spoiler, but it's going to be Cookie-chan. So once you come up with your 2 to 3 or 3 characters and have them named, because that helps out a lot, let's describe them. So I want you to describe the character. This is very important. Like I said at the beginning, we're going to need this information to be able to continue the next few weeks, because we're going to be using this these descriptions as reference when we get to drawing and doing the character profile. It's very important for you to know your main character. I want you to really dig real deep in trying to understand your main character, because of course, again, this story is going to be evolving around that character. So I have a template to help you figure out those deep details, and I'll be able, now that the library is open, we're open from 11 to 6, Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday we're open from 9 to 1. So between those times you can come pick up the template, or I can see if Read Square has a way for you to download these templates so you can fill out on your own time. Okay, only fill these out on your own time, so when you get to writing more of your story, you'll know your character frontwards and backwards. But only do this on your own time. So the only part we're going to be worrying about right now in the comic book workshop is just the basics, okay? So what I want you to do basic wise, I want you to describe what they look like, what their personality is, which is what they like, what they don't like, or that you could say what their age is, or I just want you to give a general, especially how they look, because we're going to be using this again. So as an example, let me give you an example of how Tracy-chan look. So Tracy is a bright and active wife and a mother of 3 who loves games, drawing, and all things Japanese. She takes pride in her individuality of being a thick and average height woman that loves to change the color of her shoulder length locks as long as the color suits her current mood and complements her caramel skin and teal eyes. So hopefully from that description you have a clear view of how I want my character to look like, because the next week we're going to be learning how to do turnaround sheets, which we are going to be drawing what we said. So basically that is Tracy. I just talked about her personality, which is bright and active. I told you what she likes, which is games, drawings, and all things Japanese. I told you how she looked. How she looked is which she's a thick, average height woman with different color hair. I don't know what color hair. I don't know if it's going to be the color of my hair right now or not. I don't know yet. So that's why I said to change up her color of her hair. She has locks. She has locks, which is these are dreadlocks, and she has brown skin and teal eyes. I may not have teal eyes, but my character always, when I'm drawing her, it always has teal eyes because I love green and blue. So that's how I want you to do your 2 to 3 characters. I want you to be that much detailed in it because we're going to use that detail to further along our project for next week. So to complete this mission this week, I want you to write out each of your characters' description, and I want you to take a picture of it, make it very visible for me to be able to read what you're saying, and upload it to Read Square. With that being said, this is the last bit of our code, which is 83. This has been enjoyable so far. I'm loving your answers and I cannot wait to see this next part of this week. I really want y'all to take your time and think about your characters and don't rush on this part. And I can't wait to see what you have. So I'll see you next week.